Going to be going for our teams. It is going to be Towers of Doom.
It's a Playing Ducks special. They go to Towers, and I want to highlight again that we had now the Ducks with a choice. Do you want to have the first pick, or do you want to go into the map choice? And traditionally in Europe, it was always first pick. The advantage that you get from it is something that most teams said, hey, we need this. Now it's a bit different. Yesterday and today we saw a few teams lean towards the map choice, and yesterday this started also the reverse sweep that Trick was able to pull off. They chose Battlefield.
Yeah, it makes me happy to see this. People are making specific strategies for certain battlegrounds to make sure they net victories, which is great to have it in there. That's the evolution we wanted with the HGC, of our teams constantly playing every single week, so it's cool to see that coming out.
And now we have Towers of Doom, and if you think about the last phase that we had, this was the map where the Ducks nearly beat Team Liquid with a 3-0, where we had fantastic play with the Judgment Material, where they went for a blow-up comp against the backline, and they always just threw a curveball on this map. It's one of their best or most comfortable battlegrounds for sure. Yeah. So they say, hey, we can't fall behind 2-0 yet. We need to make something happen right now. Let's go to Towers and make sure that we get the win there. On the other hand, if they lose on one of their favorite maps, that would be rough.
Well, they're not panicking yet. If they're panicking, they're going to Braxis, it feels like. And I didn't see if the Braxis was banned out or not, but Braxis typically, that's a map for the Playing Ducks. They always have that Chromie threat sitting around. Now, Chromie's fallen off a little bit because of Genji and the dive meta, but it's still a battleground that if with Playing Ducks are really here to play hardball, they will go to. So we may see that later on. But regardless here, going into game number 2, you can't help but be excited. Yeah. Maybe the Playing Ducks not pulling off as well in game number 1. In game number 2, though, I expect them to turn it up.
I would expect that too. Yeah. I really want them to show everything they have now. We've seen them with great Medivh play on the map. We've seen them trying to also manipulate the map with their globals. And they have some very cool dive comps for this map in particular. I think it comes more down to how much can Trick adapt to what the Ducks are trying to do here.
And so far, they've been doing really well, especially in that team fight. I loved how once they hit level 10, they just grouped up and made sure not to get hit with the tongue. And if they did, Nappe was always in a position for that cleanse. Strict Esport will open up with the Abathur ban. He will not be allowed. But you did bring up a good point. Will we see Medivh from the Ducks today?
First of all, we're going to see Dehaka as the global banned out, so no side soak on that top lane. And shocking, Abathur banned, who would have thought? The only surprise, I think, is that Trick banned out Abathur. Normally you see the second team banning him out. In this case, Trick signaling, hey, we're not even interested in Abathur, but we don't want you to have him either. And the priority of Genji over Uther. That's an interesting one. Usually you see the support taking the high position just simply because he opens so many flexible plays.
I mean, we saw Make on Genji last game, and if he's that comfortable, heck yeah, go ahead and give it away there. Yep. Uther may be a risk, but it's a risk that if I have Make on my team and I see him be that confident, I'm okay taking that risk. So Nubrak and Uther will be picked up. And just to note, we had Abathur banned 3 times by Trick Esport yesterday. They just do not want to touch that hero, and it looks like they haven't moved into even trying to adapt him into their own gameplay.
It's one of the things that worries me in the long run a little bit, because you can exploit that to an extent. Sure. So them signaling this is a bit worrisome, but overall it works out for them, at least in this scenario, quite well. But they have now given away Nubarak and Uther, and Nubarak is still the most successful tank that we have so far. So together with Uther, this is a fantastic opening for the Ducks.
Really great opening for them. Now think about what you normally need on this battleground. You need clear for the mercenary camps. You need wave clear as well. Rhaegar and Gul'dan. Rhaegar answers that mercenary camp, and you have Gul'dan for those waves.
Just feels like Knappe in particular really likes to play Rhaegar now. Yeah. When we're having Uther taken, a lot of other teams would have said, okay, we are still taking that Malfurion. Keep in mind that we're currently on the patch where he still has his cleanse, so Malfurion is still one of the biggest picks that we have. And you would argue that either the Oriel or the Malfurion are priority picks. But with them, they have a bit of a different playstyle. They love that Rhaegar, they love that Ancestral, the mobility that he offers, and also, of course, the wave clear with the Lightning Shield. And we have even seen them with double support running a Rhaegar, so there's still that threat looming in the background.
Always Rhaegar there, and they love also Oriel too. Nappe, when it's Attainment Strikes, oh, she is so scary on those heroes. But yeah, it's interesting how they're willing to give up what would be considered top tier to play what they play best here. So Nappe showing off that Rhaegar with the Gul'dan. Now, bans, what are you thinking about for the Playing Ducks?
I mean, they're talking frontline right now, so they have to say, are we afraid of one of Alex's heroes? And they are banning out the Chen here. So
that's the second Chen ban against Strict Esport. Has he been running a lot of Chen, it seems like, in scrims? Throwing people off?
I don't know about his scrims yet, I don't really think so, but he was always one of the few players that really loved to play him. So I think this is something where they just say, okay, what could throw us off completely?
Yeah.
I'm talking about throwing things off. Medivh banned out, again targeting Sport Billy as we said in the past. He has a lot of stuff that he can set up. And that is actually a really cool ban here. But coming back quickly to the double support, I highly doubt that we're going to see a double support for Trick, just simply because the heroes that they have so far don't really cater to that. So they will run this with the Rega solo, which is actually pretty cool here. But first we're talking, of course, about the Ducks again, who still need backline damage. Could talking about a Li Ming maybe in here.
Li Ming, Greymane are all possibilities for the Ducks. Even Tychus in the rotation. The thing is, Trick Esport hasn't shown too much on the Warrior front there, so going into Tychus might be a little bit too early overall for them. Good for disrupting Gul'dan, not so good against Genji. Genji is actually pretty solid at harassing that Tychus, so we'll have to see what the Ducks move into. But boy, do I miss that Li Ming from Chris. It's been a while.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind the Li Ming, I wouldn't mind the Greymane. Both of them are great here. You don't have to go for the Li Ming unless you really want to poke. And we have a double support. Is it going to be the Valla? Leoric?
Maybe later on.
Okay, this is now interesting. Why would you not pick Valla now? You basically tell your opponent, take it away from me. Boys,
but would they, with a Genji and a Gul'dan Valla? I mean, would you go into the Valla? I feel like they're calling a bluff here for the Playing Ducks. They're saying, you know what? We want to take a Leoric. We want to have that Royal Focus. We want to be able to have the Dahaka-esque type of warrior here. So they just move straight into it and they get Valla later. Someone take a picture. That's a new profile picture for you on Twitter right there. That's a good one.
That's actually a really good idea.
That's what I do, man. I just give good ideas.
Since when? You're always talking Gazlo Murky. That's not a good idea. Noah first picks are neither. So
give me 3 years.
Keep calm here.
3 years and Gazlo Murky will be first pick, second pick. You mark my words.
It's so not going to happen. So, you said bait. I could see that. Maybe if you pick the Oriel and then you pick Leoric, you either value the Leoric to an extent where you say, even if they take the Valla away from us, it's still worth it, which I doubt, or you have a different plan all along, where you say, yes, if we get the Valla, we're going to take her, but maybe we're going into something like a Zul'jin, for example. So I could see them just coming up with something completely different here, because there's absolutely no way that the only hero that you have in the back of your head is that Valla at this point.
Well, Valla picks up as the 5th pickup, so we will not find out.
Yeah. The only other explanation that I have is that they are very sure that with Genji being picked and the Gul'dan, that we will definitely see a double melee on the side of Trick. That they said there is no way that they are going to pick up the Valla simply because they have so much damage already. They cannot afford to pick another squishy. If they do that, no matter who they pick at their front line, we will be able to jump into the back line and take them down. And that's actually one of the biggest risks, because let's say, for example, they pick up the Valla here, and they run a Gul'dan, Genji, Valla, and they have only one big frontliner. What happens? Nubarak dives in with the rest of the team, cocoons the tank, and all of a sudden you're playing the fight without a tank.
Yeah, you're dancing around.
I think they were so confident that that wouldn't happen, where they said, okay, if you actually pick Valla, you force yourself into a single tank comp where we can overrun you with a Nubarak, and instead of the Valla, we just pick any other auto attacker, and we still will be having the superior draft. Yeah,
totally. And that's like it's what happened here between Trick Esport and the Playing Ducks. So we'll be getting ready for game number 2. In terms of draft, I actually kind of like where the Ducks are right now. They have the Nubarak Kaku move in. They have the strength of Leoric, which we've been seeing for the last few weeks, just absolutely dominating double waves.
What I like about what we are seeing for Trick, and it's a little bit silly, but I really liked their Diva yesterday. When they played Diva, it always looked threatening, much more so than what we've seen from the Ducks on Cursed Hollow. So while I really like what we are having on the side of the Playing Ducks, I think that Trick has a very confident approach to this. They looked strong with the Diva the last time, and I think they can pull this off.
Well, we'll see if they can pull it off. Can they get a 2-0 against the Playing Ducks? It's time to see Diva as she takes on the Valla combo here of Ariel and Uther. Let's go ahead and go into Towers of Doom.
Towers of Doom, our second map, ladies and gentlemen. The 1-0 lead for Tricked in the series, and the Ducks, they answer with a map pick. They go to Towers and try to take the victory. To the left, we have Tricked with Alex on Diva. We see Ramabola on Tyrael, Crossbin Gul'dan, Make on Genji again, and Gnappe on Rega.
The Ducks on the right side in the red. Chris will be playing Vala, Sport Billy on Uther, Wolf Joe on Ariel, Eternal on Leoric, and Nande on Anubarak.
All right, so let's find out how this is going to work for the Ducks here. They need a victory. They have the double support. They have the Vala, turning her into the hyper carry, and then a Leoric and also an Anubarak. Leoric, which is kind of important, went straight into the Drain Hope build, so we have Hopelessness on level 1 for the extended range. He really wants to have an impact in these team fights. Also
gives you a little bit more control over that D.Va, forcing her to maybe use that Q in the fight instead of floating around, so always great to pick up that range if possible to try and lock her down. Now it's all about rotations here, as we have 4 people heading the bottom here to stop Make and crew. But as long as Crosby plays safe, Rimmer has mobility, Make has mobility, and Nape as well can get out of dodge if need be.
It's really just a question of the team fights that we are seeing right now. So once that we have the altars on the map, it's going to be a little bit interesting to see how much Trick can actually do going into this. Of course, it hinges all on Vala. If there's any kind of chance with a good Horrify later on to isolate Vala, Genji going in and getting the kill, then the Ducks are going to be in a lot of trouble. And one of the things that I also want to see, I would even... Tyrael is not going to go into Judgment, right? It's always the dream. I like these aggressive comms, but of course, Sanctification would be the much smarter choice.
Sorry, Uther? Yeah, that'd be scary. And unless you really feel like you have the moment to move in and get that Vala kill, but I just don't know if they have the tools to actually do so. It would require a Horrify right when the Judgment goes off.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's just Uther, even if he doesn't take Cleanse,
yeah, he still gets value.
Judgment is one of the easiest ults to cleanse out. So if you have a hero with a Cleanse, he has an easy time there. Of course, with Guardian of the Ancient Kings, usually Uther players don't really want to go into that. But even if you just see that, it alone helps you so much against that stun. So I would be tempted, but I think Sanctification is still the much smarter play here, even though I like the aggression. But for now, I want to say that the Ducks are actually doing really well. So once again, quick highlight here, if you're looking at the experience bar, guys, keep in mind this will fix itself over time. We only see the experience progress for the Ducks, but don't worry, Trick is actually picking up experience themselves already.
Poke continues between our two teams here. Nape's on the channel. Sport Billy actually uses W already, and Nape will easily get an altar. A bit of a blunder there from the Ducks, and they're going to lose out on 2 of the altars.
Yeah, the Ducks losing 2 here, and therefore another good start into the game by Trick. So Trick doing really well here up to this point, but I still want to see how much we are actually going to have from the Ducks once they get into the late game. And Leoric is playing this Royal Focus build where he can soak 2 lanes quite easily if he goes into the Lingering Apparition on level 7.
And it's going to force Trick Esport to really pay attention to that. The only real main clear they have is that Gul'dan to clear out. Nygaard can do well too, but you want to keep those 2 together, so we're probably going to have 2 of those tanks working their best here to clear out that Leoric in terms of his wave clear.
I actually want to talk about this quickly. We might have a few viewers here that haven't watched all of the mid-season brawl and maybe have not really hit that build yet. So what Leoric is trying to do here, if you go into the Royal Focus as a level 4 talent, you're basically, after you go into the Wraith Walk, you're guaranteed a much higher damage on your next Skeleton Swing. And it makes it super easy for you to take down a wave. If you go into the Lingering Apparition on level 7, you have a longer Wraith Walk. And in Wraith Walk form, you are faster than you are normally walking between lanes. So you can just easily Wraith Walk from one lane to another and always Skeleton Swing the minions, soak experience on 2. It's a really cool move to make if you want to allow the rest of your team to roam as 4 and have a strong 4-man here. And if you pay a little bit of attention to the minimap, you are going to see that Leoric is doing exactly that. And it puts a lot of pressure onto Trick, not only in experience, but also in terms of wave clear.
How I would describe it is it's a better Zul. You're able to clear up really, really well. Granted, you can't be as aggressive because you're not creating those skeletons that Zul does, but you're better at the team fight, so you can come in at level 10.
And you have an escape.
And you have an escape. So I would recommend walking. You clear up the top lane, you walk into a bush, and then you bring out that E. That way you don't take the damage. You get that 4-second reduction on the Royal Focus, and you just clear lanes like crazy. We'll watch Zul here, or not Zul, Leoric here. We'll watch him, and his experience will spike like crazy.
And as you can see here, he took the Lingering Apparition on level 7 now.
Yep.
So there are certain maps where you don't necessarily have to do that and you still get the value out of the Royal Focus, but on the bigger map like this, Lingering Apparition is a must for the build.
Yep, you want to be able to rotate as much as possible and stay there with the waves so you can keep up with the experience. And it's a struggle for your opponent to keep up if they don't have the wave clear. Now, Leoric continues to do so. Playing Ducks have been doing well here in the bottom, but Trick Esports continues to answer back pretty darn well. Crosby with that clear is helping around the altar.
Cleanse, by the way, taken for Uther on 7, so maybe a bit worried about a potential Judgment here too. And the Horrify, which is of course even more important. If you can cleanse that out, that would be the dream. And right now, we are just seeing the two teams fighting over the objective. And Alex, oh my god, once again, that is such a beautiful detonation there. Wolf Joe low, everybody running away. Alex is a master of positioning himself with a self-destruct. The zoning of this one was out of this world.
Yeah, he put it behind Oriole, so Oriole couldn't chase Volley, which allowed Make to move in and be completely aggressive on the Volley and get a takedown. Great positioning on that mech, but good coordination between Trick Esports. They found a moment where Oriole was overstepping slightly, and they took the advantage.
I have to say that every single time I see Alex with these self-destructs, I'm just fanboying, because it looks so easy, and you're like, yeah, how hard can it be?
It's not easy
How
at
hard
all.
can it be? I mean, you boost into the back, and then you hit self-destruct. It's hitting 2 buttons. And then you see other players do it, or you try to do it yourself, and you never get the amount of value that Alex gets with those. He just basically decided that fight with a single self-destruct, put it in a really good spot. The opponent had to awkwardly try and move around, lost the hero in the process. Very well done here. And that's really what gives me a lot of faith in the D.Va plays that we have on the side of Trick Esports. So yeah, pretty cool move so far, but the Ducks, they are finding themselves behind 1 level. Let's find out if they can, with a double support comp, put a little bit more emphasis onto the later team fights.
Right now they're being hyper-aggressive here, hoping to grab some experience on that bottom, but also to get that Sappers on top of that fort to get that level 10 back. But it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle, as 10 is about to hit here for Trick Esports. Even with the Leoric on that Royal Focus build here, they're just not staying up in experience compared to their opponents.
Trick is just doing a fantastic job with not only soaking XP, but also with those fights. They have already a massive lead when it comes to the hit points on the core. We're talking about 36 versus 28, and they have level 10 now. The Ducks are going to get it soon, but Trick could actually start to put pressure onto the lane, and that's what they're doing. They moved with 5 into the mid, and they're saying we're going to get at least the wall here and set ourselves a little bit farther apart in experience. They won't be able to really force a fight on the level 10, but it's still a really good effort.
Playing Ducks, however, will get 10 themselves before the Ultras pop up, which is where it really matters here. With the Ultras activating in 20 seconds, one at the top right and one at the top left, Trick Esport will take the time to try and pull the Playing Ducks down to the bottom right corner. They put some pressure on the fort, and Vala will be forced to answer. If you can get that Vala to move down to a different part of the lane, you're going to put your opponents out of position.
Okay, now we're talking though. The Ducks have the chance on level 10. This is really the moment where they can say, okay, we are going to be a bit more aggressive. They already channel the right side. Eternal is thinking about interrupting, misses his W, misses his Drain Hope. That's a bit of an unfortunate situation here for them. And it's an even exchange in bell tower shots. So the Ducks not forcing the issue just yet, but this is really the time when they have, with their 10s, a good chance of going in and making something happen here. And I'm curious to see if it works out.
They pulled him in a joke here. Bunny hop to pop up. We're sitting right on top of that Vala. She'll get the Divine Shield so she can kite backwards. Self-destruct popping out here. And immediately we have Uther blown up. He'll be ringing the heels, but Trick Esports has 5 up.
5 up, and yes, they might... No, they're not losing Remaballa. Cleansed out. Well done here. Rega once again on point. Knappe with a place. And this is just Trick playing... They look really comfortable playing this. Let's put it like this.
Yeah, I like how they really control that choke right here that we're looking at, where Make is currently standing in. They feinted as if they were going to go in for the Sappers in the bottom right, which brought Playing Ducks down to that choke, which allowed for the bunny hop to get massive value as Alex Proji charged for it. Here he is, charging in once again. Nande is locked down. Cocoon has been used.
Yeah, there comes the Ancestral. Well done. I guess isolating Nande on the other hand, and Alex is simply boosting out. No kill. But I just realized how annoying it must be to face a D.Va who already has 3 life bars and then gets Ancestral. I mean, that puts it up to 4.
That's kind of some value right there. As Alex Proji will continue to really control space, and you can see it in the results. About to hit level 10 here for our Trick Esport. They're ahead in terms of ultra control, 32 to 24, and they continue to invade every single mercenary camp. This D.Va has been quite the nuisance for the Ducks.
Yeah, Alex is really making this work. But the Ducks, they still have all their chances. They just need that moment when they can snowball a bit. But the pressure that is put onto Chris the entire time is really tricky. And another thing I want to highlight, as we see the fight once again, Divine Shield out, and here comes the self-destruct. Sport Billy. Wow, gets away, not hit by the X-Strike, and it is actually Diriel that falls.
This is a 45 that the Playing Ducks are actually winning here. Leoric moved up to start channeling the altar. Is not going to be able to get it. It looks like his D.Va gets there just in time. The Ducks moving forward with that kill on Tyrael, and now this is the moment where they can make a play.
Yeah, they're trying to. I wanted to talk about D.Va for a second again, because one of the things that really helped is also... Oh, again! Alex, yeah, well, sorry, you're done, bro. This time they are not escaping here. Great move on the side of Eternal with his Leoric here sitting in the Entomb. And that's a double ult that is taken. The Ducks really coming back into this. But to finish my thought real quickly, Defense Matrix against a Hyper Carry is a fantastic tool.
It is, because you're able to get on top of that hyper carry. And where does all the damage come from?
Yeah.
That Bala. If you can get it, especially when the multi-shot comes out, you effectively nullify her entire build.
Exactly. It's so strong. If you can make that happen, and this is something that Alex has attempted to do in all of these fights now. But the Ducks, as we said, they're coming back into this. And we're now even on the points on the core. So after level 10 was hit, and finally we see the synergy of the Ducks unfold, they were really able to put a mark on the map. So Trick had a great early game, and they also pick up the level 30 talent now, meaning both teams are again on the same level. But the Ducks are just looking way stronger in the last, let's say, 2 minutes.
And I like how they're trying to force a situation. They're trying to burn down Tyrael in particular, because Tyrael is always there when D.Va jumps out of her mech. If Tyrael's not there, it's much easier for the Playing Ducks to move forward and kill her while she's on the platform, even when the self-destruct comes out. Horrified being used here. We have the D.Va moving forward the top right. Self-destruct will be used. Uther is forced to use Divine Shield just to live, but Maka is body blocking Cocoon to stop him from being there.
Cocoon being used, and that's a lot of ults that were just dropped on both sides, but a lot of high cooldowns for the Ducks in particular. And we have the camp stolen away. Tricked again with really great zoning here. But if you look at the minimap, Leoric is just continuing with that royal focus. Lingering apparition from the top to the middle and back, and always pressuring the lanes in. And this is just helping out so much for them. You can also see it, of course, in the experience and the wave clear alone. We have Leoric at 12,000 experience, and he has 77,000 siege damage.
Yeah, he so far has made the Trick Esport team miss out on 3 waves of experience. Now a 4th in the top left. That's how Playing Ducks, who were behind a full level, have now put themselves a little bit ahead. The experience helping so much in that regard. Leoric continuing to keep it up. Leoric will finally join in the fight. He misses out on the drain, hoping to be forced to retreat, but Alex Aproji will take the opportunity to jump on the back and sit on Chris.
Once again with the bunny hop there, Leoric is already fallen, and again the defense matrix. Alex survives, does not have to pull the self-destruct, and we have at the same time now once again a triple ult on the map. And this is the worst case scenario for the Ducks. Even though it's only Leoric that's dead, if those 3 altars are channeled, that would put the Playing Ducks way behind their opponent.
Make able to get the top left one. We'll get a few shots on the opposing core. We're controlling the choke here on the right side. Tyrael is being chased down by Chris. Can they kill Rimmer? Rimmer being dead will be important. Horrify use at the last second. Eternal also drops the Entomb, but Rimmer dodges it.
Rimmer, you god, he gets out and even baits the ult. Here's Alex once again with a self-destruct. Yeah, and can go straight into mech form again. Up to the top right, we have Genji versus Uther. So we are fighting still over 2 of the altars. And we have 19 to 24 points on the course in favor of Trick Esports. 14 for both of the teams here, heading into level 13. But we are seeing everybody converge down to the mid lane, trying to get the kills here. And here comes the defense matrix against the hyper carry once again.
Alex Aproji has a second bomb on this single altar here. He's going to go ahead and drop it down and bring out the mech once again. These health bars continue to fall, but the Playing Ducks are losing out on mana.
Yeah, up to the top right, the channel has happened. 3 shots fired against Trick, but they want the 5. They're going in. Aegis already used. We're seeing Nanda in trouble, and he is finally falling. Leoric about to join the fight with the rest of the team. And Trick is pretty low. The question is, can Auriel really channel through the altar? And it looks like she's gonna make it happen.
Yep, she is here on the top right, channeling it here, and they will get the shots. Trick Esport, though, looking for the kills, moving in, but with low health bars and low mana. That bloodbath of a fight between the 2 teams finally comes to a conclusion, with the Playing Ducks actually ahead here, 19 to 18 in core shots.
I have to admit, I'm really impressed that the Ducks were able to make that work. Getting that second altar was fantastic, and it was solely because they put so much damage on Trick that even though it was a 5 versus 4, they were so low on hit points that they said, guys, we cannot make it work. Let's move back, try to just heal up. And that was a very dangerous situation for the Ducks. With 5 bell towers under the possession of Trick and only 3 for themselves, this could have backfired so hard. Just imagine 2 of those towers taken. That's another 10 shots against the core of the Ducks. So very impressive play here by the Ducks. And you can really tell why they chose this map as their battleground. They are very strong here.
Yeah, they're hanging in there, but it's starting to look a little bit on the harder side here as Trick Esports take out the middle bell tower, continuing to keep up in 5 shots, and they grab the sappers and move down here on the bottom right and keep their opponents at bay. Leoric doing a good job of pushing the top lane, but it's not enough yet. He's forced to maybe rotate down here to clear out the middle bell tower or even come for the team fight.
Yeah, he's really putting the pressure on the top lane in particular, but you're right, they need him in these team fights now. And this is where he's headed, because Tricked wants to recapture the bottom bell tower. And it's a really important one. If you control the bot lane on Towers of Doom, then you have a very good shot at just simply bodyguarding sappers towards the core of your opponent. And we already have 5 versus 3 bell towers. So it's one of those situations where you just simply can't afford to lose another one.
I'm watching Alex Proji. He has self-destruct up once again here. Remember, ready to dive in. Remember, Holy Ground has been unlocked, so everyone from the Playing Ducks has to be careful and not walk through a choke here on the right side, or at least make certain that they have a heal available in case that does occur. The fort continues to fall. It's down to half health. Eternal shows up to help.
Constant poke here. And for Trick, the best scenario would have been to take the bell tower, as we have the single altar spawning at the bottom map. But now they still have to fight here, with the Ducks having a path of retreat. Once again, great explosion here. The Horrify synced up with it. Divine Shield being used. And everybody low on the side of the Ducks. The poke continues. Alex back in mech. But we have Crosby in trouble.
Crosby is in trouble. Ancestral Healing is available, but Nape was channeling. He comes out and gives the Ancestral Healing after getting the altar.
You are kidding me.
Alex Aproji dives forward, drop it in the engage. No one has died yet, but health bars are getting low.
How on earth did you see Crosby trapped by the Entomb? Alex with the defense matrix, negating the damage of Vala, buying enough time for Rhaegar to come in, drop his Ancestral, and somehow keeping Gul'dan alive. That was absolutely crazy.
It was bonkers.
It was the position of all of these guys was so good in the fight, and Alex just saying, well, you're in trouble? No problem, buddy. I got your back.
With the added help there of Tyrell and the shields, it was just enough there. And then Rhaegar's like, okay, I'm just going to casually grab this altar. Oh, by the way, here's an R button. Just healing him up there. Both teams living through it all. Also, have to shout out the Horrify into the self-destruct. Anubrac still lived through it. Impressive.
Yeah, and Vala, I mean, Chris at this moment must have just looked at this and went, you've got to be ducking kidding me. I mean, at this point, it was just impossible for him to get the kill. There was nothing he could do. And this is the problem if you run a hyper carry against D.Va. If the D.Va player is on point with his defense matrix, they even cocoon him right now in these fights because they see that he is one of the key problems.
Well, the Playing Ducks all flock to the bottom. They're hoping to come for a fight, and they're going to try and burn out a Sapper. It's getting low here. Self-destruct being utilized. And finally, 1 Sapper seeks spike, 2 and 3. The fort will fall, but Vala has been killed, and the Ducks, they have to run.
Divine Shield on Leoric. They are running already. There's Leoric falling now too, and Wolfjoy is about to drop, is not taken out though. But did you see what happened in that last fight? It was once again the combo with Horrify and the self-destruct. The only reason why it didn't blow more than 1 player up was because we saw Oriel move in with a Detainment Strike and push the mech out of the way. If not for that, they would have killed even more. But of course, with Vala dying, the damage is gone and they can simply snowball.
The trust between Crosby and Alex Aproji is incredible right now, and they're going to grab another altar. 5 more shots will connect with the Playing Ducks core. It's going to go down to 9 at the moment, and Tricked Esports will make moves to move towards the level 20 as they can continue to control this battleground.
Yeah, that was an incredible play here, and they are now far ahead with not only the points on the core, 18-9. But here we have it again. Just watch how Alex uses the the self-destruct any second, and then how the Detainment Strike comes in. This was just an absolutely well-coordinated fight. Knapp is so far in the backline the entire time, waiting for that Ancestral that he hits it. Alex moving in any second now. Right here, Horrify comes out, and there we have it. Vala is completely isolated, has no chance. Detainment Strike didn't save them there either. Divine Shield to save Leoric, but he died seconds later, and now they're going for... Oh my god, this is just... Tricked is unleashed.
Holy Ground into Horrify, and Uther will fall. And they're going to continue to poke on this tower. Leoric trying to grab experience in the top lane. He's been working on that bell tower the entire game and still only got it down to about half health. And Trick Esports is just running over the competition. They take another bell tower. 6 shots available for them if they grab an altar.
They can go for an easy boss if they want now. The Uther is down, so they can go into boss or they can go for the bell tower. Both are completely fine here, but they see the heroes at the bot lane. They know that Vala isn't here, so at this point, the Ducks are just saying, yes, we know you want the boss, take it, we can't contest it anyways, but at least we can reclaim a bell tower. to try and start a comeback here with the level 20 talent. So that's another 4 shots fired, which means 1 more or 5 more shots, and this is going to be game. Can the Ducks somehow turn this around with their Storm talents?
I don't know, man. This is looking very dire for them here. They're going to get that bell tower on the bottom, as you just mentioned. It's 20-20. It's 1 altar, so they have a chance. They can bring everyone to 1 central location and force a team fight. Alex Aprochi has self-destruct up. All heroics are going to be up in about 10 seconds with Gul'dan getting the Horrify. It'll come down to 1 last clash, it looks like.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like, because if you lose now as the Ducks, then it's all over. This is the only tower they need to challenge, and Sport Billy is already down. He has a redemption. There comes the Destruct, though. Everybody in a different direction. They're completely isolated.
They're completely spread out.
Completely. There's the Aegis trying to save a noob, but Nande is down, and Sport Billy is in even more trouble now.
Nande is falling there. Sport Billy's going to use the Divine Shield at the last second. Alex Aprochi gets put against the wall. He's getting low, but here's the Ancestor healing, and Alex Aprochi charges forward. Only 3 people left for the Playing Ducks.
Yes, once again, Alex is just chasing in pilot mode. Once the kill, Genji confirms it. It's a quad kill, and this is a victory. Or is it? They need to reclaim another bell tower if they want to channel it through and win right here, because the minions at the bot lane took a bell tower off them.
Winyan's trying to keep the Playing Ducks in it, but I don't know if it will be enough here. Still a tower low in the middle as well, so Rimmer and crew will have to set up and make sure they don't lose that bell tower, while Alex Aprochi heads to the bottom to start working on this tower.
It's enough time. They have 30 seconds. Everybody is dead. All they need to do is claim the bell tower and then channel. And they identified that immediately. So they get the bell tower. Now they can move someone in the middle and channel through. And this should be game. No, they actually lost it. They need to get a second one. It's 6 seconds until the Nuvarok is back.
The Ducks might have a chance here actually now, because Leoric is going to be spawning relatively soon.
They're channeling it.
They're just going to get the 4 shots here and put them down to 1.
Yeah, they're just saying, okay, let's not risk this. This is silly. Let's put them on 1 point, and then we are more or less guaranteed that we're taking this.
The Ducks, it's time for the comeback of a lifetime. Can they do it?
Think about it, if they make this comeback happen, then Trick just quits. They're just saying like, all right, this is over, we don't want to play anymore.
It's time to tilt as they fall out of their chairs. Okay, so the Playing Ducks will now start to work on getting control on the map. That's the most important thing here. At least get your bell towers going for your side of the battleground and try to control the sapper camps. It's been pretty difficult so far, but with 20 being here and Vala being on that back right skirts, she can do a lot of damage. Having the multi-shot here, the Farfight Cliver, just keep her alive and quit spreading out.
Yeah, there's definitely enough tools. I mean, we're talking, for example, also about Leoric now having Spectral Leech. And he went into a full Drain Hope build, disregarding for a second the level 4 and level 7 talent with the Royal Focus and the Lingering Apparition. But he can chunk down tanks so easily right now. But I mean, all that you need is 1 Zephyr getting through, 1 boss taken, 1 more altar claimed. So it's really, really tricky. And what worries me the most is that we have still Sanctification on the side of Trick. So they can cheese an altar. If they get in a good position and simply drop the Sanct and channel it through, they should take this.
And Jim comes out. They're looking at Make. Horrify will be used. Not the best one overall. Everyone from Playing Ducks will survive here. Cocoon has been used at the same time, and Alex Aprochi charges forward. Gonna drop the Bunny Hop, hitting 2 members.
Going for the slow here. Once again with
no,
a self-destruct.
Oh, no. Oh! Divine Shield at the last second will save Chris. He turns around. He's bringing out the auto attack, but Alex Aprochi with another mech.
Yeah, with another mech, and once again Crosby from the backline with the Gul'dan just the entire time. Fell Flame after Fell Flame. So much damage. The Ancestral on Make, saving Genji. 2 altars about to activate. Sanctification, on the other hand, was already used, so they can't utilize it in this fight.
Eternal getting low on health will fall, but Nande goes for the charge. Can they kill the mech? The mech gets out of there. Members still high here. Make's low on mana. That is good news for the Playing Ducks, but with 2 altars spawning, they're in a pretty poor spot.
And they have still the fountain. They have the fountain, they can take it here. 4 seconds, the altars are in, and it's 40 seconds until Leoric is back. Even with the accelerated death timer, it should be easy for them to pick this. Going in, Alex gets Cocoon, can't use the self-destruct, diving in deep, trying to make a play here. Alex using the self-destruct, zoning Chris and Wolfjaw. So, X-Strike comes in, the channel should be good. They could even sneak someone into the middle here.
Uther does fall here, Nappa's in the back left, Aegis coming out the last second, Nande keeping on the front here. This is a fight back and forth, incredibly crazy here. Sport Billy here with a redemption. Eternal is about to spawn, they kill Gul'dan.
Gul'dan is down.
D.Va though.
Everybody
D.Va.
else is low, and D.Va is going for the channel in the middle, and she is maybe getting in.
The Hungering Arrow comes up close second. Nande goes in. Nape will fall, and Alex Aproji, the last target. The Playing Ducks are flying here. They're barely keeping in it.
Alex is gonna fall. He's gonna die. They are completely annihilating Trick right now. It's a quad kill. Don't channel. Why would you channel?
They just want to get everything off the field here. They're going to grab
Why?
Sappers, pushing
Get
the bottom.
Bell Tower first.
Adrenaline, man. Just grab whatever you can.
Look how much time you have. There's only Tyrael. You have 5 man. You can grab 2 Bell Towers if you want. Why would you channel that through?
Well, for now, they've done it. Despite Kalidor being upset with them.
Oh, you could have put at least another point, maybe 2, down on the core. They can even take boss at this point. But I would have waited with the channel for at least 1 more Bell Tower. I mean, we are in a scenario where every single point you can get matters.
We'll see if it comes out to bite them. For now, they're working on Bell Towers. Bottom one taken out, middle one taken out as well. Leork has worked on the top, and that will give them some shots. If they can get a few shots here, a total of 6, and also grab the boss, it could be a game. We'll see if that 1 point will matter.
The barrage started. The barrage just started. It's like
8.
It's 8. That's another 4 up here.
7 will be the next shot here. They're working on the bottom. They need
There is no way. There is no way. Is this really happening?
They're going to get the tower. Okay, we're good. So it's going to go down to, what, a total of 2? So 2-1 is the game for the moment. Playing Ducks are making a power play, though. They're grabbing Sappers in the top. If 2 sneak by, they win the game.
Yeah, okay, 2 Bell Towers are taken. Okay, they have a little bit of a defense here.
Self-destruct.
We are at the top. They need to use the self-destruct for this, I feel.
Yeah, totally. Everyone's up here. All 5 people.
I mean, this isn't really happening, is it? The Ducks, look at this. The fighting spirit. I love it. All right, so they're taking down the Zappers here. Those are not going to do anything. They will claim that too.
2 towers, 2 altars for grab.
Okay, Divine Shield and Sanct. Divine Shield and Sanct. You can cheese an altar. It's what the Trick has should have done before.
Tyrael here and then go for the Divine Shield. All right, let's see what happens here. Sport Billy's on the right side. Chris is going over. He's going to work on the auto attacks. Ariel's been hit with a Horrify. X-Strike comes out. Rimmer on the front side. Shield of Hope being used. Chris also cutting backwards.
Divine Shield is used. Sanctification as well. They're fighting it out. They're fighting it out. Here comes the Aegis. Saving Auriel. Alex is going in once again. Nanda low. Sport Billy low. Everybody running. Both of them trying to see if they can maybe get a channel through. But the Ducks are in trouble. They're so low in their health bars.
Tyrael's over here on the left side. He's channeling for the moment. Does it get it? Sport Billy with the last-second harassment coming from the side here, healing himself up. Chris is killing Alex Aproji. No, Alex does live on the left side. Nape taking damage at the same time. Sport Billy has delayed for an eternity, but Chris, the last standing member here for the Playing Ducks, will fall.
This is heartbreaking. The Playing Ducks nearly made it happen. But there it is. The shots are fired, and Trick Esports wins game number 2, making this a 2-0 lead. But the Ducks, they nearly did it. The fighting spirit alone, they put them down to 2 points.
So, Kalidor, you mentioned when we could have had 2 Bell Towers taken out and you channeled the altar. Could have been the moment to actually earn the victory?
Do you think they could have gotten it? 1 Bell Tower, 100%. Do you think they could have?
2 Bell Towers, but could they also follow up into the boss at the same time? I think so, because they still would have had to force their opponents to come back and defend. It could have been the moment.
I think they could have won it.
Yeah.
You can always argue that maybe Tyrael is able to sneak somehow to the altar, starts the channel, drops the Sang, goes for, I don't know, maybe he can sneak that in. But they have control over everything. They see the map, so they are 5 versus 1. They could zone him out. But I mean, let's face it. If they win this...
Yeah. Incredible comeback.
They are not only pulling off an incredible comeback, they are geniuses. They made all the right choices.
Sure.
Now they lose in the last fight. And now we are sitting here, in hindsight 2020, questioning, could you have gotten the 2 towers? I think you could. I would have probably made the risk happen there. Maybe
but it's a hard call to make in the moment.
It's a very hard call to make. If it backfires, you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
So that was the one moment where you could have said, okay, do we risk it, yes or no? They said, play it safe. And to be honest, if Trick doesn't force the fight at the top before the altars are spawned, I think you cheese it through with a simple... You cocoon the Tyrael, and you simply go Divine Shield, and you channel through. But Trick knew that. They knew they couldn't get their own Sanct through because of the cocoon on Uberak, so they said, we force the fight right now, and either we win or we lose, but it's our only chance, and they win the fight. Insane game.
Awesome game. Theory crafted aside, hindsight 2020, that was a good game, and we get another one here possibly, maybe even more. We'll be right back after a commercial to see how this all